Hey there, it's Hima here, and I've got chart of the week RSI power zone setups in tech stocks. Today's Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Before we look at the charts, important reminder that trading and investing can be extremely risky business. Therefore, it's your responsibility to evaluate any information, opinion, advice, or other content contained in this video. So first we're going to take a look at Tesla, because Tesla was added to the S&P 500 index this week. And it's interesting, when I was doing my skinny on stocks this morning, I actually came across the weekly chart of Tesla in my scan, in my visual scan that I do, and Tesla is on the stock picks grid this week. And it was before I even realized what the ticker was. It was just based off the price action. So bring your eyes to the right of this daily chart. So we have my triple moving average filter that I dive into in the 4 zones RSI coverage system. And right now I want you to take a look, because we have a bull-bear RSI face-off where bears are looking to make a move happening right here on Tesla. So if you haven't already, dive into your bull-bear RSI face-off ebook. And if you have it and haven't looked at it in a while, you may want to brush up, because that setup is happening on Tesla right now. So what defines the setup? Well, the higher lows and higher highs in price are definitely important. So I want you to pay close attention to the low from December 10th. That's around 566. Right? We could see weakness towards that level, but we need to break below that low in order for Tesla to really be unraveling and have a significant slide lower, most likely into each of these moving averages as price action unfolds. All right, let's take a look at some other tech stocks. That's the FANG complex that a lot of you trade, and see what RSI power zone setups are happening there right now. Now I'm going to go through all 5 FANG stocks, even the ones that don't have a clear setup right now, because I want you to see the other value you can pull out of the RSI power zones, which again, you definitely have to plot in your charts if you haven't yet. So you can see that price action on Facebook, ticker FB, has just been sideways for a while. Now, we do have the RSI power zones lifting up out of the bull support power zone. So this is a hint that the RSI power zones are probably going to trade higher from here. What would add even more emphasis is if there was a pattern, which we'll wait to see if that develops. Let's move on to the A's and FANG. So first we've got Apple. So here's the daily chart of Apple. And I actually had Apple as a buy signal now on the stock picks grid just last week. So I published that grid on December 15th, and you can see we have gone up. So where are we now on Apple? Well, it's continuing to trek higher. There's no sign that bulls aren't going to continue to press on, but we are getting into the entire range of the September 2nd all-time high. And when you dive into the 4 zones RSI coverage system, you'll see my very unique way of taking key price ranges like this and dividing them up for more important support or resistance, in this case, resistance. Now, for right now, I'm giving you the resulting calculation for the key resistance level, and you can see that it's 132.49, and that's exactly where price is hanging out right now. So I'd watch very carefully in Apple that here price needs to post a daily closing break above 132.49 to suggest a pretty quick return to the September 2nd high. If today we're not able to get that close above, and if with Christmas Eve and holiday trading it's still not happening, then you'd watch out for short-term weakness back towards the rising moving averages. All right, let's look at Amazon. Amazon in the daily chart is a lot like the Facebook chart right now, just kind of going sideways. The key here is that price and momentum are starting to edge higher and continuing to move to the upside, with these moving averages starting to turn higher as well. So while it may not be necessarily anytime soon, I do think there's still more room to the upside on Amazon. All right, and here's Netflix, ticker NFLX. Taking a look at the chart, you can see that it has been rising since the mid-November lows, and it's back above the shorter term moving averages. Now, that's happened earlier in the fall, and you can see that it didn't mean the show is over. But something really cool is that right now, if Netflix continues higher from current levels, it will come into these past resistance levels for the 4th time. And based on Gann tenets, it is much more likely to break on the 4th attempt. This is why we don't see quadruple tops and quintuple tops, or whatever you want to call them. We basically see double tops or triple tops. So focusing on what you can do with this knowledge here now, keep an eye on the higher lows in Netflix that are forming on the daily chart, and look at what will occur with price action if it gets back into this $550 range. I suspect that on this fourth attempt, if it does it, it will break higher. Now here's the chart of Google to finish out, and you can see that a bull-bear RSI face-off with bears taking over did occur earlier this month. Now, I had it as a buy signal now prospect on December 2nd, but very quickly over the next couple days is when that bearish setup formed. So if you know what you're looking for, again, the bull-bear RSI face-off ebook, dive into it, make sure you know the pattern, because this was a textbook one that warned that bears would be taking control. And they did. We have seen this stock correct lower and violate its most recent daily high or low. So Google is in a position where it's at what I call an inflection point. It's not quite sure which way it wants to go, and there's equal weight of the evidence for either direction. So this is where it's very important to watch the price action. If we get a move above the December 16th high, that would suggest further upside. First for a retest of the all-time high, continuing higher. But if we have a relapse, a break below the December 21st low, which as you can see, would get below this October 30th high and start to hint at closing this gap from earlier in November, then I would watch out for a return to the black rising moving average. The settings on those moving averages are in the 4 zones RSI coverage system, and a whole lot more on RSI power zones and how I put them to work on my charts. Catch you next time. You can sign up at the link to get my hot, timely, actionable updates as soon as I publish right to your inbox.